You got to move, go. Where? Where are we gonna go? We're right here, we live here.
We had a lot of fires that when you wake up from a dead sleep sounds like gunshots and fighting.
One of the greatest challenges I face every day is having a lack of privacy.
It's reality. I can't hide who I am.
It just came in and threw people's stuff away like it was nothing. You're garbage.
I never thought that I was gonna be on the street.
There are seriously whacked out people out here.
I was left on the street by a family member that went to get laundry done and never came back.
It's like every homeless people have a story. Not all homeless people are drug addicts or whatever, because everybody got their own little story. I once was close-minded, like normal people. I had money, whatever. It's like, why are these homeless people asking me for money or whatever? I used to be like that until I got put in that position, like, hey, not all homeless people are like that. Because it takes a lot for a person to actually ask for a couple change. For me, that's my downfall. I have pride. I don't ask people for money. But once your stomach start growling, it's like, what can you do? It's either try to earn a couple bucks so you could get burger, eat, or starve.
It was because I had my husband to motivate me. I was giving up everything. I was giving up on him too. And I actually told him that I wanted to walk away from him. I want him to leave me alone. Get out of my life, let me just struggle by myself. But he said that everybody goes up and down in life. Maybe this is another road for us.
Life on the streets is lonely. I say lonely because that's how I feel sometimes. After my sister and mother died, I was out there. I felt like I was all alone. I didn't have any friends. My friends were my sister and my mother. You know, those are my best friends. But when my mother died, I just didn't care. I didn't care what would happen to me. My sister died the next year after my mother passed away. She had congested heart failure. My mom had a pacemaker. And my sister was shot. I have schizophrenia. And obsessive compulsive disorder. But I'm waiting for housing. They're helping me this time to try to get housing, to try to find an apartment that's low income, that will work with my kind of income, you know, which is practically nothing.
I lived at the POV. I lived in the Village of Hope. Slept in a sleeping bag outside on the street, slept on a bench, slept downtown in the Fulton Mall on their nice fake grass. You know, just anywhere I felt safe. I can't see myself getting high anymore. I can't see myself doing the things that I used to do.
Somebody asked me that, well, why do you still stay out here? I'm gonna be like, cause I'm already addicted to it. It's like a habit. I'm immune to the streets. It's like crystal meth. It takes over your body. It's just, you're out here so much, constantly out here so much to the point where you just don't want to get away from it. You gotta stay with it. You gotta keep with it. At 13 years old, I was out on the streets. When I was born, my mom gave me up to foster care. So like, you know, and I was always running in and out of the foster group homes and stuff. on the streets. Most of the time I stay over here by the tracks. I used to stay over here at the Poverello, but it was all bad for me. You know, I got bipolar. I'm bipolar. I went to a couple mental institutions. I'm not perfect. I'm not perfect. Nobody perfect out here, man. We all been through the same situations.
I guess my best explanation for ending up homeless was that I had graduated for engine repair at Fresno City in November of 2010, and I was looking for a job every day for about 8 to 10 hours a day, including weekends, every day for a year, and didn't even realize until November came around again. I said, oh my God, it's been a year I've been looking for it's been a job for me looking for a job. And at that point I gave up. I said, I give up. So I ended up making friends with the neighbors, which I know is another big mistake, and started doing drugs with them. And that's when I lost everything, because meth will steal your soul, steal your brain, and there's nothing you can do about it, and you can't even function.
When I lost my job, that's when I feel like, okay, I'm going down the road really deep. People look down on you. Sorry. People will give you disgusting look. They'll talk bad to you. They're down. But not everybody's like that. A lot of good people has heart.
Currently, I'm living at a village at the Poverello house. Well, for me, the reason why I'm here is I couldn't find more hours at the 2 jobs I had, and I couldn't find any other jobs. But somehow I ended up out here, and through some other relatives I have here in California, they pointed me in the direction of Poverello house, and kind of got me situated here so I can get back on my feet, and hopefully I can get back being in my own apartment again.
Right now I live at the Fresno Rescue Mission for 30 days. Before that, I was living in prison. I was in prison for 3 years. When everything changed for me is when my own friends tried to kill me because I started gangbanging. And I was a reputable factor in my neighborhood. So I had a real high ranking in my neighborhood. And when they showed me I was expendable, that's when everything changed for me.
The challenges, being homeless, filth. You can't wash your hair. I took baths in the canal, which is sewer water practically. I had to drink it because I didn't have any water. Challenges, and it's all about what's going to happen to you, because regardless of homeless, there were people that came to rob us that had homes. So it's not the other homeless people that you're so much worried about, it's the criminals.
Sometimes you hear somebody saying something vulgar. When I walk by, I could hear it sometimes. Somebody will say something disgusting to me, and I just look at them, and because it's a man, and I don't want to tell him, hey, F off, and then have him come up to me and slap me or hit me, because you don't know. What happens is after you put your luggage away, they say, well, come back at 5:45 and be in that line. So I come back 5:45. And that's how it is. If you want a nice warm bed to sleep in, or do you want the cold cement to sleep on? It's your choice.
It's going to take an effort of the community to help erase or even solve the problem, because you can't erase people. They're magically not going to disappear. Not everybody that's homeless is an addict. Some of them have mental issues. Some of them just are down on their luck. Life happens.
Being harassed by a cop is scary because you never know what they're gonna do to you or say to you. There are good cops, there are bad cops. You know, I met a couple of them are good, a couple of them are bad. They just look at you like you're nothing.
When they knocked down the encampments, I didn't have, you know, the sanctuary of my little tent, my area, and I was sleeping downtown. And I was sitting, it was even during the day, and I was just sitting. I had my sleeping bag rolled up, and I was leaning against a tree, you know, and the cop told me that I couldn't rest there. I was born and raised here, and Fulton Mall was my playground. I used to come there when I was a little kid, and I've always leaned back on the, you know, and sat on the grass. And when the cop told me I couldn't do that because he's seen a sleeping bag and a backpack, I was very hurt. The Pavarella was doing surveys about the homeless, and I did the survey. I did it last year, and it didn't go anywhere, but I wasn't really honest with them. In my addiction, I wasn't honest at all, not even with myself, let alone somebody else. I did the survey again in June, and I rated high enough for housing. So today is my first night in my apartment. Yesterday was moving day. The last time I had PG&E in my name was 10 years ago. That speaks volumes. Yeah, imagine that.
After the streets, I went to a drug program and then Evangel home for 2 weeks, which didn't work out very well because I was working across town, and because I didn't get home at 5 o'clock, I was kicked out. Some of the challenges I face now are not being able to have my kids.
How long have you been without your children?
Almost 4 years now. That's the hardest challenge of all.
How many children do you have?
2. I have a 10-year-old daughter that's having a lot of problems because of what I put her through. And a 7-year-old boy that lives out of town. So it's hard to even be able to see him.
I have 2 kids that are here, but when I get myself situated, then I'll go and look for them and tell them, hey, come on over to my house, you know, I got an apartment or whatever. You know, I miss them a lot, but I don't think Pavarello House is a good place for me to bring my sons over, you know, after I hadn't seen them for like 2 years. You know, I want to be able to be more, to have my place, have an apartment, and then, so I don't look like a bum to them.
I'm hoping that 5 years from now, I'll be able to move out of Fresno and to more of a place out in the country with good schools for my kids.
My life in 5 years from now, oh man, I want a job really bad. And then, you know, I want to start everything from bottom up again. I feel like if I have a job, doesn't matter anywhere, even doesn't matter if they pay me under table, I'll slowly save and then slowly know how to use my money. And now I experience of being homeless, I'll know how to manage my money more.
5 years from now, I'll be married, I have a bank account, I have a 3-bedroom house, and maybe two good vehicles. If not 1, 2 for sure.
A lot of people, females out here, they You know, they get abused and used and stuff out here. Guys, they go through a lot of situations, but the females go through more, you know? So that's the question. Me, I just worry about waking up the next day. Because if I don't, then I'm good. I'm gonna be, my body's a corpse. Okay, just bury me 6 feet under, just throw me down. I learned never to focus too far on the future because it can happen to you within a day's radius. Never focus a day ahead, focus on that day that you're in. Because if you focus too far ahead, man, what's wrong, you can either do life or you can be 6 feet under in the quickness out here. It might not look like it, man, but there's people out here that don't care, you know?
What do you hope your life looks like 5 years down the road?
Yeah, I want to cry on that question, seriously. I don't know.